And Moscow is about to fall 35%. Oh no, it's not Moscow, it's Mosyak. After that, they have to take Moscow, but Moscow is just a level 1 fort as opposed to the level 2 that Mosyak has. Mozhaysk. Ulm's war was a humiliation one, was it? Oh, okay. Meanwhile, Muscovy are marching back into Moskva again. Mosyask has now fallen. They are... Oh no, rebels. Muscovite noble rebels are currently sieging down Novgorod, which is going to be a significant source of Muscovy's money. How's Muscovy doing for cash? They've just taken 2 loans. They got 50 in the bank. They're losing 9 grand. They do have an upgrade. They could upgrade to Bardiche infantry. So Muscovy have just teched up to Tech 4? No, Tech 5. Lithuania on Tech 4. Poland are on Tech 4. And Brandenburg's on Tech 4. None of them with a huge amount of military power. So Muscovy is going to enjoy the tech advantage here. Poland immediately pulling back to Ryzev. So they're just trying to take territories. That was a mistake. They should not have split up there. Kaluga's going to get knocked out. Mosyak, they got the troops coming in. Everyone's marching on Mosyask right now. And this is going to be another battle. But this time, the terrain advantage is going to be with the Poles. Lithuania not marching in. Brandenburg just about responding. A very small stack of Poles holding up until the rest of the forces arrive. And now it's 28,000 against 22. Another bunch of troops arriving. Muscovy still outnumbering the others. We do have a couple of Danzig troops on the way in. Poland's reinforcements have arrived. It's now 44 against 20,000, although the Poles were losing 1,000 men a tick. But Muscovy still chose to back off. They didn't want to fight with the -1 penalty. And I really needed a drink because this is getting kind of crazy. Anyway, while they are reforming, let's see what else is happening elsewhere. Cusco have taken out Kola. They're now going after the Akayes. Then we've got Ajam still fighting against Timurids, although it looks like Timurids have actually got their act together and have started hitting back. Like, don't underestimate Timmy. Timmy can still call up a lot of troops. France still fighting against Burgundy. Burgundy only actually having lost 1 province, and it looks like the Burgundian forces are starting to really occupy France's, probably because France and Castile have to keep moving troops over to England to deal with the situation over there. Muscovy starting to regain, like, I'll keep on looking back over here just to see if there are any changes. Meanwhile, the Pope and Austria still at war with Venice, seemingly not able to take Venice itself, probably because of naval superiority by the Venetians. Venice is not a player. That means the Venetian navy doesn't count. So I need to take another look at the naval differences. So in first place is actually the Mamelukes. Second place would be Morocco. Third place would be Portugal. Keep forgetting that Venice is not a player. They were in the previous game, but they are not this time. Did someone split Korea in 2? Probably. I can tell that Muscovy is recruiting more troops. And Manchu just took a massive chunk out of Korea. Now adjacent to Tsushima, which of course is one of the 7 victory condition provinces. Meanwhile, Hoshikawa has only 1 enemy left. Ouchie! Ouchie are the only ones left, and this is a big one for Hoshikawa. If they can really humble that group, then that would be a great, great deal for them. Muscovy's forces, meanwhile, backing off a little bit. They are now completely tapped for manpower. They've still not upgraded their infantry for whatever reason. Muscovy now with 5 loans. Lithuania with none. Poland with 1. Brandenburg with none. Brandenburg looking pretty financially secure right now. Do Brandenburg... No, nobody has any ideas yet. Not really surprising. Are there Oirat versus Manchu tensions? I don't know. I suspect that they're going to work together to take Ming out before any conflict between these two. Because they're going to want to, like, divvy up that land between them. Okay, so Poland is now marching on Moskva, taking that territory out. Ryzev has now fallen. Novgorod has just surrendered. This is going to be putting a big dent into Muscovy's treasury, and they are indeed 5 loans. Minus 18 ducats a month. How much of that is from reinforcements? Only 1. So the majority of the costs are because of mercenaries. Could probably do with disbanding those. Unless they are under their force limit. No, they're way over the force limit. That's costing them extra because they're maintaining these 0 strength regiments. Might as well disband them so you can make space for actual mercenaries. And then your mercenaries will not cost you as much. Being over a force limit is punishing. That's true, it does have a filter, doesn't it? Mamluks, Morocco, Portugal. Then in terms of economics, income, Mamluks, France, Castile. So Mamluks really coming in first in two of those different positions right now. It looks like Moscow is getting ready for another attack. 20,000 against 10,000. They do have another 23,000 sitting back here. Another 10,000 Muscovites coming in as well, but they are a bit further away. These guys are going to be able to jump in much sooner. Danzig belatedly realizing, oh, there's a fight over there. Oh, alright then. I don't know what's happened to Muscovy's vassals. Looks like they have just disappeared. This is 20,000 against 10,000. No terrain bonuses. Poland has a fire damage bonus general, which is not really going to help them. Muscovy's shock general is going to be a big deal at the moment. Poland taking some really hefty penalties, but now the numbers starting to even out a little bit more. Hey, Voodoo. Another 10,000 Muscovites coming in, another 20,000 Polish Lithuanians, Danzigers and Brandenburgers. But these guys are losing 1,000 men a tick, which is just insane losses currently. And Muscovy really pulling things back again. I think that Poland probably split their armies up a little bit too much. But even if they don't win this, I don't think they'll lose much, because Muscovy is going to want to get out of this war. And Muscovy will have suffered very much economically. Poland definitely looks like they're losing this fight right now. They do have another 16,000 men on the way in. Muscovy have another 5,000. It depends on whether these guys can hold for these guys to arrive. I have my doubts. 30th of October, 18th of October, that's tomorrow. Will they get there in time? They did. Reinforcements from Danzig have come in. Now they just need to wait for Lithuania to arrive, although Muscovy still has very much the numbers on their side. Muscovy still hasn't upgraded to Bardiche infantry. I wonder if there's a reason for that. We'll need to check the quality of those units. I doubt that there is, but we shall see. And then Poland sent packing. These Lithuanians are going to be crashing in to those 12,000 Muscovites. But that's only 12,000 Muscovites. That's not a lot. Meanwhile, Finland... Oh, these are the vassals. The vassals have all been ordered to go and take out Kaunas. Taking Kaunas will actually cut supply... No, it won't. If they had the... oh no, this is all Danzig. Wow, Danzig is huge. Never mind. I meant that I thought that taking Kaunas would stop troops marching through Lithuania, but it won't, because this is all Poland. They're fine. I think Kaunas is just chosen because it's right at the back of the enemy. So, right now what Poland needs to do is, one, get a better general. Their one shock is not cutting it. Fire at this stage is completely irrelevant. Get someone with more shock, even if it means less overall pips. And two, try and tech up, but that's going to be difficult to do just because they're so far behind in military points. Does Muscovy have an advisor? I wonder what the advisor situation is. They do. They have a national manpower modifier. They have a reinforced speed, which is kind of pointless. Poland does have discipline, which helps, but discipline early on is not as important as morale. And Brandenburg also has discipline, though of course no ideas being completed means Brandenburg's armies are nothing special. Now Sweden's starting to feel the pinch. You were doing so well. But I guess it's because you are still bankrupt. -3 stability. For serfdom, support troops, clerical dominance, disloyal officers, bankruptcy. Finishes in 57. That's next year. Well, it's basically 2 years. Meanwhile, Moscow is retaking Mosiak at the moment. Lithuania, Brandenburg and Poland being left to lick their wounds a little bit. Ryzev is the war goal, so as long as they hold on to Ryzev, they will get ticking war score against Muscovy, which is actually balancing this out by 20 or so. So actually, this should be about -15 for Muscovy's favour. Poland's down to medium, Danzig is down to medium. Neither of those matter. Is Danzig independent? I thought they'd be a vassal. They are a vassal, okay. Danzig does have rebels, yes. Teutonic separatists are rising up because they only just took that territory. Now, Sweden, have you done something naughty with your estates? Not really. National tax, trade efficiency, and then tank the nobility for manpower. Makes sense. Lithuania could get Diplotech ideas. Still no bonus for military. Nor there either. Okay, so Moscow, have you changed your troops to Bardiche? No, still not. Or Eastern Militia, rather. Why? Eastern Militia are just better at everything. They have shock offensive pip and shock defensive pip. There is no reason not to upgrade. I think he just hasn't realised. Can you have a look at Manchu? Absolutely. Manchu still exist. They aren't really doing much at the moment. I think they're recovering from previous wars. They are fighting against Yaren and Korchin, but that's just Yaren and Korchin. Which they're not going to be able to take because Oirat has them completely surrounded. Meanwhile, other wars. Few are still at war with Venice. This war is going to be just going on forever, pretty much. Because they just can't take Venice, the capital. Because of all the Venetian fleets. Milan's in that war. Val's not doing much. Kamchandals are migrating, apparently. I didn't realise the Siberians could migrate. Okay, that's interesting. To position themselves right there and stop any westward approach from Muscovy. I bet that's what they're doing. That would be a terrible idea. Oh, Muscovy's attacking again. This is going to be an obliteration for the Poles, unfortunately. Although Muscovy is fighting at a -2 from both the river crossing and the forest. There were some more Brandenburger troops arriving, which are actually the only ones in the front line right now. They're just significantly outnumbered. There's 45,000 against 17. So Brandenburg, Poland and Lithuania really need to start tapping their manpower pools from professionalism and also just mercenaries. They really need to start pulling up some mercenaries, and I haven't seen them do that yet. Lithuania still has a ton of manpower. Poland has a fair amount, and Brandenburg has a little bit. And it looks like this Lithuania army just stood there. They're like, no, we're not getting involved. That's stupid. What they should probably be doing is telling Lithuania to go after things like Reval, while Poland and Brandenburg actually go and fight. Meanwhile, the majority of England is now English again, so really not sure what their plan is right now, because all of this has done is drained resources from the French and Castile. Is France still in their war against Burgundy? No. Please tell me they didn't just wipe peace. Burgundy have a couple of loans. They certainly demanded money, but no territory, and Burgundy is definitely too big to vassalize. Nevers is a vassal of Burgundy, and all of those are still under the personal union. They did no damage to Burgundy. What the hell is happening? White peace, Burgundy is a power to be reckoned with. Gotcha. Morale hit when he changes. Might have decided not to when it first popped up, then forgot. Possibly. Because he still hasn't done it. And he wasn't actually fighting at the time he popped it, because his armies were still back here. He could have done it immediately and then just sat outside of Moscow. Mosyask is about to fall again for the Muscovites, and then the balance of power here is very much going to shift in Muscovy's favour. Although Muscovy now needs to get into Lithuania, and there are a fair number of forts here that they would need to fight over. So I don't know just how deep Muscovy wants to go into this war, because this is going to be costing them really quite significantly. So even if Poland and Lithuania peace Muscovy out now, I would say that that's a net gain for Poland and Lithuania, even if it's a white peace, just because of the financial pressure that they've forced upon Muscovy. And Muscovy is starting to really feel some rebel problems, and I don't know if they can actually afford to maintain this army for that long. And in fact, what these guys might want to do is start actually funding Muscovy's rebels, and see if they can cause some more problems that way. Meanwhile, Oirat is at war with little Oirat people. Chavchuchveni and Chukchi, which I'm not even seeing.
Mordred.
Hello.
CPM's offered to basically just cede me his country.
No.
No, he's like saying he's giving up now completely.
Okay, but no, I'm not going to have him just give you his country. That's nation ruining.
Well, no, not as in like he's giving me one country. It's still going to be independent and I have to fight it through a war, but you know what I mean.
Okay, so if he's just quitting, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's quitting and he's going to come back as someone else next time if he's allowed to.
Okay. Although Oda's only actually in 2 debts right now and are at peace. They're fine. What's the problem? Because Hosokawa's definitely gotten the upper hand here. I think it's just the fact that Hosokawa gained so much at Oda's expense, even though the war was Oda's fault. So a little bit bemused by that fact. Sweden, meanwhile, have dealt with all of their rebels. I'm guessing that they're just giving up to the rebels each time. It is now February 57, so at the end of this year, November, they should be free of the bankruptcy, and Sweden's then pretty decent spot. So many people just don't have any resilience. I kind of agree with you. Like, none of these I would say are defeated. They just don't like it that they're not doing very well. I mean, I will always be far more supportive of a player who goes down fighting than someone who just says, oh, I lost a war, I want to quit now. That's not the way EU4 works. I just really don't want to argue with them live on stream. Because I've done that before and there's nothing more awkward. They're like, please can I quit? I'm like, yeah, sure, but it's on you. I mean, if you just need to step away and think things over, okay, I can agree to that. Except for the fact that you then need to worry about the AI screwing your country up. So, like, the fact that Sweden's staying in the game and still trying to fix things, I approve of that. Oda, I think, actually quit more because of lag issues than because they were losing. Because I think Oda right now is in a fine position. They got 3 provinces. They didn't lose anything. They've still got manpower left. They're not in any loans. Oda's still quite strong. I don't think they're bankrupt or anything like that. Nope. I'm amazed that Oda got out as well as they did. Like, Hosokawa pulled out one hell of a fight to do that. Anyway, how is the war between Muscovy and Poland-Lithuania going? Poland is coming in with another 23,000 men. We do still have Muscovy up here trying to retake Novgorod at the moment. Muscovy's money situation, they are now 9 loans in debt, 1,100 ducats down. Northumberland has appeared, so we've got the Northumberland separatists coming in. Meanwhile, England has retaken most of the provinces from France and Castile. So I guess Operation Create Pirate Republic has failed, would be my assumption. Do we have anyone with ideas yet? Nation Technologies, Admin. The only one would be Ulm. Mighty Ulm! The leaders in technology! What have you chosen, Mighty Ulm? Mighty Ulm has chosen Innovative. Currently trying to get towards Patron of the Arts. Cool. So there we go, we have our first player idea group now chosen. England is a pirate republic, are they? Oh, so they are. I stand corrected. So, mission accomplished, apparently. Well spotted. Getting a lot of stuttering on stream and it's not my ISP. Not noticing if it's more old eyes. It is a bit stuttery, is it?